Good day, my peeps. Welcome to my program, Yardman Second Chance. Well, give thanks to be alive, see another day, be on top of the earth. So we have to give thanks to Father God for life. Yes. Well, today I'll be speaking on a second chance my friend has gotten. He's kind of shy to talk, so he told me his story, and I've decided to tell you guys, share it with you guys. Yeah, this was a really close call for my friend. He was supposed to be given 28 years for drugs and guns, and he walked away. By the grace of God, he was given a second chance. Well, as he stated, he was in this hotel. He and his girl, they were selling drugs. He got up and he went to sell some drugs, he and his girl. He left do not disturb sign on his door. And when he got back in the night, his sign was missing, so he said he was kind of surprised. Anyway, they went in, and as he opened the door, there were some guns in his face. The cops were in there waiting for him. He decided to make a run for it, started to run, but his girl tell him not to run because the cops are going to shoot them. So lots of cops keep coming out of these rooms and pointed more guns on them, have them on the floor, search him. He said that they find a gun on him, and in the room, like, they find gun, a big machine gun, something like that, and drugs, money, bullets, stove for cooking, crack, all that, the whole work. So he said they locked him up. He and his baby mother, they locked him up, put him in jail. He was there in jail for 18 months, something like that, no bail. His girl got bail after 9 months. He was there for 18 months, going back and forth, no bail, no bail. The judge, the lawyer that he had, told him to take a plea for 15 years. And he said, no, he's not playing. He keep going back to court, change his lawyer, and keep going to court time after time again, month after month, until it reached 18 months. He still didn't get bail. So he got a new lawyer. And this lawyer started to fight. He explained the case to him, told the lawyer that these guys didn't have a warrant. He came and saw them in his room. So maybe it was them that bring the stuff there. So he says his lawyer fight his case until one point in the case, his lawyer asks the officer in charge of his case, was 18 officers, he says. So he says the lawyer asks the officer in charge of the case, why didn't you guys get a warrant? The officer in charge told him they were scared the guy would come back and took the stuff that they find and they wouldn't get to hold him. So the lawyer said to him, do you guys know about telewarrant? And the guys that are in charge of the case said no. So the judge looked at him and says, how come you guys don't know? And tell his lawyer to explain to them. So the lawyer explained to them, tell them that the telewarrant, if you go search somebody's home and they're not there, you call the justice of the peace, tell the justice of the peace that you find some illegal substance. The justice of the peace would give you his permission to seize them. Then you would seize them and bring that justice of the peace to the court. So the judge looked at the cops and said, wow, And he start writing. The guy, my friend, tell me that the judge write a long story. Keep writing and looking at the cops. So then his lawyer came to him and said, man, we're in good standing right now. So he keep going back to court, until they reach the final decision. When his lawyer came and told him that, man, today is the day. It's either you go home or you get your sentence of 28 years. The cops wanted to give him 28 years because he says they find like half key of cocaine, $20-something thousand, bullets. He said they had part where they cook the stuff in, all the things for cooking the coke. And besides that, they took a gun from him, and one was in the room, allegedly. So he was really worried, man, because he was looking at 28 years. So he say that the day of decision, let's call it that, the day of decision came, and the judge called his name, Mr. Brown, can you stand up? Then he stood there for 10 minutes. I think they had jury. I think it was a jury trial, he was telling me. So the jury came back and said, we haven't come to a decision. They said, go back to the bullpen. That's where they keep the prisoners. Go back to the bullpen and come back in 20 minutes, he says. 20 minutes. Came back after 20 minutes. Stand again. They call his name. Mr. Brown, can you please stand? He stood there looking at them. Then they come back and said, oh, we're not ready for the decision as yet. That was the second time. He went back to the bullpen, came back 15 minutes later, and that's after 18 months. He came back, stood there. The judge called him up again. Mr. Brown, can you please stand? He stood there with his hand clasped in front of him. He was telling me the story. He says, then the jury came out and said, we find Mr. Brown not guilty. Imagine that. Not guilty. He said he almost fainted in the court. And when he looked, the cops were all mad. But that was God working. Because they have all this stuff. But he says, why he get off that case, it was because of the cops. They didn't bring a search warrant. So it's called he beat the case by the cops not having the right warrant. Illegal search and seizure. Yeah, that's it. Illegal search and seizure. They did it illegally. So this is how Canada is. And it happened in Canada here. This is how Canada is. The law, it send you to prison, and the law, it take you to prison. You got to follow the law to the T. If the cops come to your house and they haven't got warrant, and they search up your house and find any illegal substance and they take you to court, you can beat that case. As it happened to my friend. And he walked away from 28 years. And now he has changed his life. I think he's going to church now. I think he's a Christian or something like that now. He changed his life. So he has gotten a real second chance. Looking at 28 years for drugs and guns. And he walked away without doing time after 18 months. God make it so clear that the guys in there, he said they were there like 10 hours waiting on him and didn't have a warrant. So he beat the case by illegal search and seizure. So the law will put you in prison and the law will take you out of prison because you got to follow the law. Because the law is the law. You cannot go around the law. So people get their second chance in many ways. Right? So my program now is Second Chance. All the people who have had second chance can call me at 1514-585-0150. Okay? You can call me, and that's on WhatsApp. Right? And share your stories. If you're afraid or you're shy to share your stories, you can call me off here, talk to me, and I'll share it for you. Just like I'm doing for my friend right now. I'm telling his story. Right? Not my story, his story. Right? Yeah, so that's it today. That's what I'm telling you about. Second chance. People who have had second chance. And this is a great story. Right? So keep on watching Yardman Second Chance. Subscribe, like, and share my videos. And touch the notification bell. So when I drop some stories, you're the first to get notified. Okay? So this is Yardman saying, have a blessed day. And I'm out.